5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. OG's turn to ban. Dire team ban. OG's
Okay, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to the Epicenter Major EU Qualifiers. I'm your caster, Hazbaz, and I'm joined by the wonderful Wingblade. We have a great matchup for you today in OG versus Singularity, another in our series of best of ones. OG, they seem to be on fire, but will OG be able... Sorry, but will Singularity be able to stop the blaze forward of OG? Only one man's going to be able to tell us. And so what do you think about it, Wingblade?
I think it's a definite maybe. We've seen OG take down 3 opponents handily, and Singularity haven't been doing too well, losing to Liquid as well as Alliance. But you never know with Excalibur, man. My boy Steve, maybe he pulls something out of the hat.
Yeah, I mean that might be possible, because it does feel like OG have flaws, but they've been able to recover from all their setbacks in these amazing team fights. So maybe if Team Singularity play a perfect game, they'll be able to take the point off OG.
I feel like it's very important that Pingvinchek has a good matchup here, because he always seems like quite a momentum-oriented player. And we've seen some games where they just give a lot of space to Excalibur, but I feel like both Excalibur and Pingvinchek need to find a spot in the game, and a lot of that's gonna come down to giving Pingvinchek a good mid matchup. So I hope they can afford to maybe give him his famous Lina or TA to make sure that he at least has a nice start.
Yeah, so I would like to say Singularity, they've done what we said they should do, and they have got rid of the Sem Magnus. So OG aren't going to play this Magnus, be able to play this Magnus melee strategy, but I'm pretty sure they probably have more in the tank, don't they?
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and one thing I love OG doing right now is just letting through the Enigma, because they have figured out a way to beat this, to punish this greedy style of play, and to make sure that he doesn't skill by picking the proper heroes against it. So they're saying like, hey, Enigma might be the strongest hero of this patch, so go ahead and pick him.
So if they're saying to Singularity pick the Enigma, do you think if Singularity, they're a bit afraid after they've seen OG beat Enigma in all their previous games, do you think OG are going to pick it up and say, Singularity, we might know how to beat it, but you don't know how to beat it?
I think that's certainly an option, because we've seen Jarex play some amazing Enigmas. And it looks like Singularity is going to go for a tiny. Interesting. They haven't really played it too much.
I saw this this tiny. It's EGM's tiny during the Open Qualifiers. And what he did do that I really enjoyed while they're on Dire, and they are on Dire here, is he's going to toss the creeps, to the range creeps to the high ground for the off lane. So it's like denying them with an Enigma. It's really, really funny.
So that could be a cheese way to beat OG. Maybe just beat them so hard in lane by just denying all of the range creeps that you can take it from there. But even then, we've seen OG just being behind in so many games and then just take some miraculous team fight and come out on top anyway. But that's a good start, just making sure that your lanes are in order. I feel like that's always gonna be step 1. Because OG is scary when behind, but when ahead, it's just no contest.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I know they love this hero, but I really don't know if Tiny's first pick material, especially when things, as I was about to say, like the Oracle, are left in the draft.
Right, so an Oracle could mean that there is not gonna be an Enigma here. Because we've seen Oracle and Enigma in the same draft before, but I feel like it's super lacking in aggressive potential. You have some team fighting, you have some defensive stuff, but you don't really make stuff happen with an Oracle Enigma. And I feel like that was a problem for the final tribe in last game as well. just the lack of playmaking potential from their supports.
Yeah, that is a very good point. And Tiny, as a 4 position, he can set up a lot of ganks, you know, with that avalanche, with that toss, and eventually once he gets a blink dagger, he has a lot of burst on his own, and he might even be able to handle the Oracle.
Alright, so this is an interesting pick too. It's most likely going to be the Thompson Pango, and this is actually a fine mid hero to pick early because, as I said, Pango is one of those heroes who can survive the lane against pretty much any hero. He doesn't really win lanes, but he survives lanes. But at the same time, they could also just decide to play him as a position 4 and just pick some crazy good last pick for Thompson.
Yeah, and the instant rebuttal with the Morphling. My understanding is people like the Morphling into the Pangolier because you become the Pangolier and then you just have that wonderful swashbuckle ability on yourself.
That's true, but at the same time, we did see how effective Thompson's build was last game against this Morphling. He's just buying that diffusal and draining all of his mana. It leaves the Morphling so vulnerable, so I'm not sure if I love this Morphling pick too much.
Yeah, OG, they do get rid of the Razor, which makes me think it might be they're just trying to set up for as good a lane for Thompson if he does have to take that Pangolier mid. And also the Razor, you know, he is one of the heroes of this patch. We've seen him either banned or taken out in first phases for most of our games now.
Yeah, it's one of Pinkfinchek's most played heroes in this this last month. It's a bit curious though, because Pango is generally picked as a hero against a Razor. For the same reason that Liquid picked Ricky, because you can just jump away when you get drained. So it's a bit curious, and it could be a sign that OG is maybe trying to pick a hero that usually doesn't play too well into a Razor, like a Troll again. So it's interesting to see.
Yeah, and they have taken out the OD versus the Morphling, just curing that Morphling's game a little bit more. That's what I think of.
It's interesting though, because we haven't really seen Thompson play too much OD, have we?
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, he just loves these unique heroes. I don't doubt that, you know, he can play the standard core set of mid heroes, but he just doesn't find them as fun, and OG are willing to give him whatever he wants, it seems.
OG's turn to pick.
Yeah, I feel like it's for OG, they pick heroes that are strong, but at the same time, they just want to have fun. They're like, we are a pretty world-class team, and if we have fun, we just play better. I feel like every time you watch OG, you can just imagine them smiling like idiots behind their PC screen every time, and I love it.
10 seconds remaining.
I mean, it really does come out when they use their chat wheels. Like, you're right. You do get to see the personalities behind the players even while they're playing. That sometimes I don't think you get from other people. And it seems you were totally right about that Razor ban leading into a Troll Warlord. Once again, they really like it as a counter to this Morphling, and we saw why in the last game, because once he was on top of him, he was just getting the ensnares, and Morphling was not getting away.
Alright, this does probably tell Singularity about 2 out of 3 coins for the side of OG. But how do they punish this? That's the question. Most of the strongest heroes against Troll have already been taken out. Like, there is no OD. Singularity themselves actually banned the Nature's Prophet. There is no Razor. So I'm just trying to think about which heroes fare well against Troll.
I mean, just as we're talking about the amount of fun that they're having, they are spamming these voice lines a lot.
Maybe it's too much fun.
Beastmaster.
And interesting, once again, Beast being picked into a Troll. And I'm really not sure about this, because it's decent against Pango, because you can just roar him inside the Rolling Thunder. But it's pretty bad against Oracle, because he can just dispel the Roy, and it doesn't win lanes against Troll. So I feel like this Beast, while being a strong hero in general, is really questionable in this game.
Yeah, you're gonna have an even tougher lane, because you don't have that regen that you're getting given by the Enigma. I mean, obviously you're not by yourself this time, because I assume EGM will come to your lane. So maybe they think the Tiny's able to be the difference maker.
Dire team.
Yeah, I guess so. And we see a Batrider. Is interesting. This is one of the better heroes to lane against Morphling, but at the same time, for Singularity, we've seen both Pingvinchek and Excalibur play mid depending on the hero, so this very well could be a Morphling mid, which is a pretty damn good hero against Bungo in lane. So that leaves the option for a Singularity to pick a hero that lanes well against Batrider, something like a Jug or Lifestealer, for example.
Yeah.
Both of which are kind of bad against Troll, so...
So
yeah,
you think
tough.
you think there's the idea of, forcing them to pick one of those heroes and knowing they've already got them countered with the Troll?
Yeah, it's nice because heroes that are good against bad are bad. Well, no, pun not intended this time. They tend to be bad against Troll.
Turn to battle.
Yeah,
See it
and I do want to say they've had this Batrider pick planned for a while because Shashlo, I do know he's one of the few people who loves that Legion Commander, and they've already got rid of everyone else who purges it off. They've taken the Oracle themselves. There's no Abdon in the pool. So it looks like they were already planning it, but they've taken the Venge as their counter to Batrider. But it doesn't really help in the lane, does it?
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, they're still gonna struggle a lot with Morphling Venge against the Bat. Even if they decide to go for something like a tri-lane, they're still gonna struggle a lot if they do decide to put this Morphling on the bottom lane. Especially if OG decides to pick another strong position for a hero to accompany this Batrider.
Yeah, again, OG, with their last pick, they have the flexibility. This is what they did so well last time. Because you don't know, is this the Thompson Pangolier? It might be. But, there's also the possibility that Jerax is more than happy playing it. And OG have secured themselves last pick. So, they're going to be able to counter your entire draft if they need to.
Yeah, and that is just the strength of picking flexible heroes and having last pick. We've seen discussions and arguments about which one is better, but in games like this, I feel like there's just so much flexibility coming out from having this last pick. And on top of that, they also have Radiant.
Yeah, Radiant is the side that has the higher win percentage in pubs. Does it also have a much higher win percentage in pro games?
Remaining.
I think it still has a higher win rate, yeah. I'm not exactly sure about the stats, but I would assume so. It has in the past, at least.
Yeah, because I know in the pub matches it's like 55% to 45%. But it might be something similar like that in pro matches. But the pros obviously like Radiant for a different reason. Anyways, Singularity, they're taking their time here with their last ban and pick. So it looks like they've decided OG still need a mid-hero, and they're getting rid of that Lina.
And that could mean that it is gonna be a Morphling mid, because Lina is one of those heroes who lanes quite well against Morph.
Yeah, it's a tough pick for them, but you're right. I can't think of a carry that really. I think they have to pick the Juggernaut because otherwise, who is going to lane versus the Batrider?
I mean, they could pick something really aggressive too and try to take the fight to the Bat instead of like running away. But I can't really think of something that is good. PL is an option against Bat, but at the same time, it's not so great against Pungo. Deals decently with Troll, but I feel like it's just kind of weak. I guess they have the option of going for Naga as well. But once again, it feels like it would put them in such a tough position because then they can't really fight.
OG's turn to pick.
And they're gonna go for a Storm, so it's gonna be the Morphling on mid and the Storm safe, or the other way around. I feel like both of them.
It's gotta be the other way around, right? Storm Spirit needs the levels more than right.
Yeah, but at the same time, they could just pick something that completely counters Storm, and then they're setting themselves up to lose every single lane.
I mean, OG, it looks like another great silencer game. Like mid-silencer. I'd love to see that again.
Oh yeah, that would be pretty cool here.
Yeah, it always seems to me that OG, with their drafts today, they feel like they've done very well.
Choose your hero.
Right. So, they picked two of Anna's signature heroes. I wonder which one he's gonna play.
It's actually a good point because yeah, he's their troll player.
Right, so it's gonna be the Ember Spirit on mid, but I'm still not entirely sure which one of their heroes, Team Singularity, is gonna play mid. Because I feel like Morphling is better against Ember mid lane than Storm.
Why do you feel OG picked this Ember Spirit? What do you think it achieved for their draft that they felt they were lacking?
Well, in the mid game, it's kind of strong against Storm because you have a really good way of catching him. And well, it's a comfort hero for them, but at the same time, there is always the risk of getting roed, and Morphling in the mid game is super good against Ember. So I feel like it mostly comes down to the tempo they want to play as well as just personal preference hero-wise. Because I don't feel like this is necessarily the best Ember game.
Yeah, that does make a lot of sense to me. And also, I've seen a fair amount of Morphlings take over Ember Spirits, and even without the Remnants, do crazy good things. What? Why do they call it the cheese?
I don't know, but I've seen multiple highlight videos of Japanese casters screaming it while Ember was doing it.
Parmigiano
It's actually
Reggiano.
true, you can Google it if you want to. It's beautiful.
I mean, okay, maybe next time it happens, I'll give it a go myself. Once
Right.
OG let me
Looking
get a word in
forward.
edgewise, I'll be a Japanese caster just for the one team fight, the one ability.
So OG gonna go for a smoke here. Very sneaky. They didn't smoke up Thompson,
Yeah.
which is intended because he wants to show on mid, scout for the words. So looks like Excalibur might not see this coming. Careful,
How much
Steve.
lockdown do they have? They have the Swashbuckle as well as the Fortress S. They're going for the channel on top of Excalibur. He has the morph, so no way of getting out. But actually, bottom lane, it looks like Shashlo managed to kill Seb. It looks like we were watching the wrong engagement because here at bottom, they were able to find Seb.
Yeah, looks like Singularity had the same idea, and they just did a toss into a stun, it seems. And then with the boy slow, no escape for Seb. But you asked if they had enough lockdown on OG, but I don't think lockdown matters against Morphling level 1, because he's just so weak. I feel like Morphling should honestly just morph up to 1000 HP at the start, because we've seen them first blooded so many times.
Just for the safety, be at full health.
Yeah.
But Maposhka actually here, is he thinking about sniping a courier? Or no, he's going back to his lane. So I was curious about what his... Oh, they have a Hawk here. I don't quite understand what this Maposhka rotation was for.
I feel like they just wanted to see if OG was gonna go for a lane swap, but it doesn't look like
Oh,
they are.
Shashlo, I think, might be in real trouble. The Swashbuckle is still on cooldown. No Tails busy dealing with the ball so that Jerax doesn't get slowed. And looks like this might be a very long chase until Shashlo goes down. They do have the Orb of Venom, and that's what's happening. But Shashlo is actually going to be okay. DPN from EG. But yeah, Seb, in this bottom lane, you can see Excalibur, so many stacks, and he just has to back up. I don't know how they're going to deal with this Batrider.
Yeah, and level 1 it's manageable, but the moment Seb hits level 2, Excalibur could be in real trouble here.
Yeah, and especially the fact they've left him alone means he's gonna get that level 2 way before the side of Singularity does. And he just hits it, and then Mapochka's an easy kill. Excalibur trying to put in a bit of damage into Seb, but it is gonna work. But that's just an easy kill for this Batrider.
Yeah, we could see that he was waiting for the creep to die for level 2. And at the same time, Miposhka actually committed a stun before he hit level 2, so he just ran at the Venge, and nothing could stop him.
Yeah, it's Excalibur, they have a stun, they do have the adapt trait, and I think Seb is going to drop here.
Very nice kill there. They really need stuff like this. They need OG to make mistakes to get a foothold in this game.
Yeah, they have the slow over onto Shashlo, as well as how they play with the Fortune. They're not even using the Swashbuckle here on Jerax, because they want to give the kill over to Anna. Jerex is usually one of those people I think of stealing all the kills, but I guess maybe that is just a bit of me. Maybe he is, you know, thinking about his carry sometimes.
Sometimes. Miposhka does have it in this rune. Could try to make something happen. But looks like Seb is actually going deep on Excalibur.
Yeah, he's so aggressive, but Excalibur is right next to his tower that he is going to be okay. But now that Miposhka's here, I think Seb, once that Firefly wears off, might actually be in trouble. He's actually kept the stacks up on Excalibur, so he needs to be careful. But with Miposhka there, caught in between the towers, with the way Excalibur, 9 stacks. But with the adapter strike, he does actually have enough damage. And Seb perhaps being a bit over-aggressive here.
Oh, Shachlo once again.
Yes, they've already lost EGM and now Sashlo. Jerax, he doesn't have Swashbuckle for a little while, and they're TPing back in on EGM, doesn't have Avalanche, but No Tail able to get the kill. The toss means they are able to get that trade. Sashlo with the ball. Jerax swashbuckles away into the trees, doesn't have the mana for the TP away. So if these balls are able to get the vision, Jerax would be in trouble. But he could just sit here until he has the TP mana. A nice job there by No Tail, TPing to the mid lane, refilling the bottle of Thompson. That's nice teamwork there.
Looks like the Storm Ember matchup is pretty even so far. Both getting a bit of farm.
Yeah. I'm interested though, but Seb, just because of his aggression, he really isn't doing as well as he should be. You know, Excalibur's been able to get 2 kills on him, and now he's well behind in the CS.
I feel like it's conscious. Ooh.
Oh, Seb, he's trying to get away to safety. Excalibur more than willing to hit into. Does have one more point in his adaptive strike, and he's going to be able to get it.
But at the same time, we do see Ana digging up a chest with a player card pack.
Oh, so you're posing the question: who's the real winner? Feeding your offlaner or getting a player card pack? And I do agree that OG comes out on top there.
But I feel like it's a conscious decision from OG to leave this bad solo for now to make sure that Ana has complete free farm on this troll. Like, they started this top lane as a tri lane, just making sure that once again this troll has an early lead against Beast, and at this point they are pretty comfortable just leaving him alone or with 1 support as opposed to 2. And the more ahead this troll is gonna get, the easier it is gonna be for the OG supports to rotate and start helping out this bat.
Yeah, I mean, we do see Jerax already in this bottom lane helping out Seb. Oh, I think they are trying to go for the kill. Excalibur doesn't wait for in, so he doesn't overcommit for it, just forcing him back, and that's another salve consumed by the Batrider, but now they're on top of the Pochka. They have the slow, and he's not going to be able to live through the Firefly, as well as the damage coming out from Jerax. And that fight perfectly timed for the 5 minutes.
Push on. They leave one of the runes for Thompson. Very nice for him.
Never refuse gold given.
It looks like Thompson is actually going for a rotation here on level 5. No, he isn't. Just wants to get them bounty runes.
Yeah, Ana has his first race band. Phase boots next. On the bottom lane, Jerax is in a bit of trouble, but Seb, once again, only 1 stack up on Miposhka. Knows he doesn't have the stun for a little bit, and it looks like that Firefly was just there to be able to help Jerax out.
Take the wind from their sails.
Yeah, it's quite risky to try and fight into this Morphling right now because he just does so much damage. Even when you get a few stacks on him, Morphling might just turn around, level 2 Venge down. You could just go down as a bat.
So we haven't talked a lot about this mid lane. It looks like Popson as well as Pinwichet just both of them free farming away. Now they've both hit level 6. Are any of the lanes really in trouble? Are these heroes looking to rotate or just continue their farm?
I feel like there are some opportunities to go for kills.
Yeah, as we talk about that Pinwichet with the 1 point in the electric vortex, not even needing to pop his double damage. That's an easy Oracle kill for him. No Tail, still stuck at level 3.
So yeah, I feel like Storm definitely has the option to go for kills on supports like Oracle, you know? This seems like the logical play to me.
Yeah, I would like to point out, have you seen where all these wards are for the side of Singularity? Like in this, near this Radiant Shrine? They're just controlling this area with 3 of their wards.
Yeah, they really want to make sure that Morphling has a good time. They don't
the toss forward! Oh, EGM And I do say with the Tiny that this is always the poor man's Blink Dagger, and he's really showing it off there. He threw forward with Pochka, so he was able to get the stun onto Jirax. It was such a nice play.
Ooh, Ping Finchek getting really low on mid. Doesn't have any
Needs
mana.
probably 2 more hits, and he gets it with the Fire Remnant.
Tower is under attack.
So outskilled there in the mid lane, but it looks like they're going to pay the price with Seb. Jirax, he doesn't have the Source Rock, and it's still on cooldown. Excalibur is Firefly over, getting the vision there with the sticky napalm. Jirax will have the Firefly in 4 seconds, but he's not going to be able to live through it. So Mapochka actually taking both those kills in the bottom lane.
I'm not sure how Ping Finchek died there.
Radiant's bottom tower
He must have been low mana beforehand from farming before Thompson engaged.
Yeah, but while we've been talking about the other lanes, we talked about the great start on Ana that they secured for him with this tri-lane. And he's already taken the tier 1 tower, and he still has his catapult from 5 minutes ago. Well, not from the 5-minute timing, not 5 minutes ago.
tower is under attack.
Yeah, and it looks like he's really sad about not having a Magnus. And as a way to deal with his grief, he's just gonna build a Battle Fury. He still has some cleave after all, even if it's not love from Seb with an item.
On this bottom lane, Thompson, he does have an Arcane Rune, and he is going to be just fine against the Avalanche Toss. And now I wouldn't be surprised if he goes back in. But seeing the Morphling here of Excalibur, he's going to back off the Pochka with another stun. Thompson, Sleight of Fist, misses the Parmigiano Reggiano, but is still able to get the kill on the Vengeful Spirit. And he's looking for even more. That toss-up is not really enough to get rid of this Flame Guard, and even with the Avalanche, so he still has it online. He's looking towards this Tiny. No one else has rotated in. The Sleight of Fist, he actually doesn't have the Searing Chains. That explains why he didn't connect with them. And just one more Sleight of Fist. This Arcane Runes is paying off. He might be able to kill off the Tiny here, and he does. He gets it, the level 4 Sleight of Fist. Where were the rotations from the rest of Singularity?
Ping Finchek was just sitting on the Remnant, placing his own Remnants to hope that Thompson would jump to it, but Thompson was like, nah, I'm just gonna kill you, I suppose.
So it looks like Thompson outplaying the double buff, and now he goes back to the Remnant, and they have the vision down on Ping Finchek.
He does reveal that they have a word now. I'm pretty sure it's gonna get de-worded soon. But yeah, I can just imagine Thompson with the biggest smile on his face being like, alright, I'll kill you, I suppose. Fine.
So Shashlo, he's hit level 6, heading to this lane with the Morphling. Oh, they toss in, easy stun, waveform, as well as the Avalanche, and I don't think Seb is long for this world. So with the Beastmaster...
Nice, nicely executed ganks by SNG. Just making sure that Excalibur has a good time. And I really like this because they realize that this Morphling is gonna be their win objective, so whatever happens, they just need to make sure that he has a good game. And so far, he's had a pretty good game.
So we've come out of the laning stage. We're at 10 minutes now. Who do you think's not on top, farm-wise, but from what they were looking to achieve in the lanes? I mean, Ana's had absolute free farm, but Excalibur has had a lot better lane than we thought he would.
Yeah, it's been decent for Excalibur, but at the same time, he's more than 1,000 gold behind Ana. And
Ana, they realize once again he hasn't leveled up the battle pass. So Pimicek, no, he puts the point into it right now, but he's not going to heal up that much, and then Pimicek is probably just going to turn this around. So
that was 40% life steal for you.
Yeah, apparently it is not enough, but Thompson, he's found Jerry once again in the trees. The toss back, I don't think it really matters because he can leap forward with that Remnant. Doesn't connect with the Searing Chains. I think they were probably off cooldown, but with this Flame Guard, he's not going to die in the tier 2 tower because he knows he's going to have the Searing Chains.
I feel like Thompson knows the limits of this hero very well. Like, his aggression is very controlled, even if it does seem extremely aggressive. He never dives too far and makes sure he always has a Remnant left. And as a result, he hasn't died yet, even though he's been quite aggressive.
So, Shashlo is getting that Vladimir's over on the Beastmaster. Do you feel this is a game where he looks for the Blink Dagger like we saw done last game? Or do you think he's looking for a more traditional, I need to be able to set up some of the push for my team build?
I feel like it's a bit too early to say, because if they can get some nice kills soon, and they can actually achieve a good push timing, I feel like he wants to have that Vlad's medallion. But at the same time, if this goes a bit more into the mid game and they can't really find any kills, I feel like a Blink is gonna be very nice for him to have. Then again, there is a Tiny though, which is, as you said, the poor man's Blink Dagger.
Damage
Is under attack.
Kinda hard to catch an Ember with it though, that's for sure.
Yeah, pops them with the DD. They do have the Avalanche as well as the Electric Vortex overlapping, but he's not able to get away to his Remnant. They bring everyone in and they're able to kill him even without burning the Roar.
Guess it's the caster's curse once again. Just praising him for his controlled aggression, next moment he dies.
Oh, but now the Roar right on top of the Oracle. Even having the ulti doesn't matter from Potion and swap in. Tippercheck running forward. They do buy back here on Thompson. But I don't know really matters. Jarex is here with the ultimate. They're going to be able to bring down Jerry. Are they going to be able to get more? It looks like Chateau Cop with the Searing Chains. They are going to catch him as well. But it looks like the rest of the side of Singularity are going to be able to walk it away. Unless Jarex, he does get the vision over on the No, he misses the poacher. There you go. Jarex does find him. No TP left on this ventral turret, and he will be brought down.
These were some very nice swaps by Miposhka, ensuring that they get 3 kills as well as a buyback from Ember. They don't quite get the tier 1 though, so I do feel like the buyback from Ember was ultimately worth it. Even if that's kind of a strange thing to say at 13 minutes.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Meanwhile, Anna again ahead of the net worth, even though he's had that one death, and he's gonna have his Battle Fury in a few creeps. Oh, actually,
Yeah,
just sells his shield for it, and he now, as soon as he hits a secret shop, he's gonna have it.
At the same time, Excalibur is doing a pretty decent job farming as well. It's not as fast as the Troll, but then again, Troll tends to farm a little bit faster than Moy, especially at these early stages.
So Singularity, they've smoked up once again. They have the Primal War, and they do see Thompson here in this mid lane, but it looks like they're not going to be able to get on top of it in time. I don't think they can quite do Rokan yet. They don't have the full blast completed, but someone they can find over here is this From Warlord, and with Chicken Set zipping in, Gary can be able to get the last hit. Jarak trying to turn this around. They do have the Sleight of Fist, but without the Maelstrom yet, there's not really that much damage coming out from this Ember Turret. And Penguin check, now looking to go forward. They have the lasso on top of him. They need a tiny bit more buzz. With the help of No-Tail, they're going to have it. This Morphling here on Excalibur, he's playing his own Ember Spirit. Jerax being saved up here by No-Tail. They're on top of the Beastmaster. So Thompson, he's been able to get a kill there. It looks like they are going to lose a bit of poker. Thompson here, just playing so well Excalibur. He does have that waveform, so he's going to be able to make his way to the high ground. But he is slowed down, affected by the Searing Chains. He does have a lot of mana, and he's just going to be able to TP out. He knows they don't have the Flaming Lasso or the Searing Chains anymore. But
I really love Sep's item build here. Normally you see these Bat Riders go for drums and BLTs and just be a nuisance on the map. But Sep recognizes that they already have a Troll, a Pungo, an Ember. They're all already going to be pressuring the map, so all they need is initiation. So he just buys a straight Blink and it instantly pays off, killing Ping Finchek's Storm.
Yeah, it's a really nice turnaround, however, by the side of OG. They did such a great job, even taking that fight without their Troll Warlord. But he now does have the Battle Fury on Anna, so again, we're going to see him go to this top lane. I feel he really does need to be careful. He got caught out a lot last game, but maybe that's why Seb is going to sit behind him, be able to turn it around if they do try gank him.
I feel like it's one of the reasons why he's so farmed though, because he's just playing so aggressively. Like, he doesn't care about his own safety, he cares about creeps.
Yeah, Jerax is trying to push out this bottom lane, but Penguin Check is threatening to mow him down if he shows his face. Seb over here is smoked up, has the Blink Dagger. All they need is the vision on someone. They do see Excalibur in the mid lane, but I'm not sure they have the burst damage. And now Jerry walking up to the high ground is going to break the smoke over on Thompson. But Thompson running forward is looking for this fight. Like the fifth Searing Chains, they throw the Avalanche toss in front, but Thompson is able to steal away that Invis Rune. And now they're going right over here onto the Ventral Turret. They're trying to kill off both of them at once, but they're focusing the Ventral Turret first. And Jerax, he's actually going to be the one to clean up EGM. So seeing the whole side of OG, they're just going to continue pushing the bottom lane for Singularity.
Tower isn't quite dead, yo. Dead though, even though Beast pushes quite fast. It's still kind of slow, and as a result, it looks like OG is moving into the road pit.
Yeah, they do have a troll warlord, 3 points in the further. It looks like Thompson was actually the one tanking up the Roshan. But Excalibur as well as Shadow, they're here. They probably have vision provided by a Hawk from somewhere. And Roshan is getting low. PVJ extends in. They're going to be able to take down Zed, but no tail. Very quick with that full Zed. PVJ, he goes into the pit, but he's brought down instantaneously. And now they have the Raw on top of Jerax. But it doesn't really matter. Jerry might have put a point into his ultimate, but Anna doesn't really mind. Just pops his ultimate, able to wail away at this tiny, and Thompson finding someone else in the trees. He has the Aegis on him, so he doesn't really mind if he goes down once. He's actually TPing back to base. Seb going forward, has the vision of Shashlo, no Raw, only has the bad bits operating on him, and now no tail with that channel of the Fortune. It's going to hold Shashlo in position, and he's going to end up burning to Seb.
Very nice save on Seb by no tail. It's worth noting SNG did get the Roach kill, so they have that going for them, which is nice.
But yeah, I'm not quite sure what happened in that pit. I think Thompson was just ready with the steering chains, right?
Yep. And Anna just kept hitting the road, so Storm just died to the cleave damage.
Yeah, and now Mapochka, they found him as well as with the silence. Anna's there, so he gets the slow onto him, and now has seen the melee whirling axes, and that's another kill. OG, this is what we've seen in previous games. They take one good kill. They've already taken this tier 2 mid, the tier 2 top. Oh, but Shashlo takes out Akira, is no tail in trouble. Over here, it looks like Thompson might be having a bit of trouble up against Excalibur, as well as Jerry. He is going to lose his first life. Shashlo doesn't have the Raw for a little while. They know where his remnant is, but now Anna and the rest of the team are here. Pivotcheck on the back line. He does go for the Oracle, is able to get that kill, but the lasso over on top of Pivotcheck, he's probably going to go down once again. But they've lost Thompson for the second time. The Pochka TP's in. They do put, no, they don't put the ultimate on the top, but they overlap the Raw and the stun. Now Anna with his ultimate, he is able to bring down Shadow, but he's chasing into the stun because he can't control who he's after. Excalibur with the strength 4. Do they have enough damage to bring down Anna? Yes, they do. And now Seb, he's the only one left in this area, but with that Blink Dagger, he should be able to escape.
I feel like this is exactly what Singularity needs to do. They need to keep up the aggression, they need to try to punish OG for these aggressive plays. If they just play passively, they'll just allow OG to take over the entire map. And that's not something you want to have happen when you're playing against a troll with a Battle Fury and an Ember. So they take a fight, they're aggressive, and it instantly pays off. So they just need to play around the Royal cooldown now and try to find kills every single time it's up.
So, Seb, he's building this 4-star. He isn't going for that, you know, drums, boots of travel. No element of that movement speed at all. And OG, after losing this Roshan, this Aegis over on Thompson, do you think they're going to play more defensively, or they're just going to look to forward their aggression even more?
I feel like OG is just gonna do OG things with Aegis or without. So we can expect some aggressive plays, but probably not trying to force any 5v5 fights for now. Because they do know that this Troll Warlord is gonna get further and further ahead of this match.
And in the mid lane, they try to make a move onto Jerry. It is worth noting that Jerax has been able to get this quick Spirit Wrath, the morphing, the swap back to try and save the life of Egem. Jerax leaps forward, but Thompson with the Slice Fist is able to clean him up.
I feel like SNG might just be giving them a little bit too much respect, because at the start it was just Jerax and Thompson. If they instantly converged with the Storm, they might have been able to do something, but now they're just taking heroes one
over
by
here,
one.
they found Mapochka as well, caught out by himself, no one to swap to, nothing to swap in, and Seb just actually sits around on this high ground. They have a Carti, and they're just at the tier 3s. And Anna, full left and white complete. This is probably going to be another tier 3. This reminds me so much of their previous games, but Favor Check is there to try and cut the creep wave, but it's not quite enough damage. And now they're onto the melee barracks. Side to the fifth, steering chains, it doesn't really matter that it comes out from Excalibur. Now they actually have the silence on top of the morph thing. Seb, he goes forward, he does have the lasso, the waveform in, but Jerax, nice bounces there. The Raw, it looks like it was ineffective, and the Troll, honestly, they have to buy back on their morphing already. They've lost the Oracle thanks to the help of Pimwitcheck, but at the lasso, they lose Pimwitcheck once again over on this Storm. They just have enough control for him, and now these racks, they still have 4 people up from OG. You might have lost your Oracle, but you don't really mind when you're not going to get picked off.
I feel like OG is just one step ahead. SNG had the right idea of trying to burst the Oracle, But ultimately, they just committed so much and OG just instantly capitalized. But it's so important that SNG keeps up the aggression. Even though they just lost the fight, they lost the racks, they have to keep doing stuff. Roy is up in 25 seconds and they have pushed lane, so I feel like they should just go for a smoke again. Try to find this Ember or this troll.
Yeah, so Singularity, you're saying what they need to do to get into this game is smoke yank one of the carries for OG.
Yeah, for sure. Going late game against this OG lineup, but even just OG in general, is just a death sentence.
Yeah, I was gonna say Pimpercheck on this Storm. I mean, he seems poor because he doesn't have this Orchid, but he's actually even with Topset. It's just Anna who's the one who's so far ahead of the pack.
Yeah, and it feels like Thompson is very far ahead because he's 12 and 2, but at the same time, just compare the CS. Finchek also almost has twice as much.
Over here, Pimpercheck, they found him once again with the lasso. They probably have more than enough damage with the help of Jerax. And Thompson, he's actually going to be the one to clean up his enemy mid laner with the Slice of Fist, or the Parmigiano Reggiano as we like to call it. And so now all that remains is these two towers in the bottom lane, and I think that's the objective they're looking to take.
I don't think they saw the Orchid yet, so I think Vinchek could try to make something happen with it. And if he manages to find a few solo pickoffs, it could turn around this game. Then again,
yeah,
it's so risky, because against OG you never know what to expect. Maybe it's one hero and maybe it's actually 6 heroes.
I don't know if you've realized, but OG are certainly feeling themselves. If you look at Topset, he's got a certainly unorthodox Ember Spirit item now.
I really like it though. It's another way of locking down this Storm, who went for a really greedy Orchid build. So he's not gonna have a BKB anytime soon. So this Athos is gonna be that much more effective.
So do you think with the amount of control they've had on this Storm, he should have gone for, you know, either a BKB, a Linken's, or maybe even a dual Scepter?
Absolutely not. I feel like if you play that defensively, you are just basically a creep. You're gonna stay alive, but you're not gonna do much. This is just playing to win instead of playing not to lose.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Over here, Seb, he was in the trees hoping to get a pickoff. But Anna, they don't seem to be touching him while he's busy hitting their barracks. Over here on EGM, they do have a Blink Dagger. They are on top of Boston. They have the Avalanche toss, but it's not enough. He's able to leap away to his Remnant taking. Now the reveal to Orchid does mean they lose their Oracle, but Derek is creating so much havoc in this fight. They use the wall over on the back right on the back line, but they have managed to lose their Morphling. Seb, he's over here controlling Pimpercheck. They need a little bit more damage, but they're not going to have it. So Pimpercheck, he is able to take down the Batrider. They buy back on both the Oracle as well as this Batrider here, but now Jarek by himself, he does kill off the Oracle, and all the meanwhile, we're following Anna across the map on top of a Poshka, and that's another buyback from the side of OG. It looks like they want to continue their push. They had taken the melee barracks bottom, and now they're looking to get the Megas, and this forces the buybacks from absolutely everyone. For OG, they're back here. Pimpercheck the silence just onto Thompson. Thompson, it doesn't really matter. And they found the Poker once again. Poker, he just brought back the series changes as well as like this. They're keeping him back. And now they know there's no buyback here on this bench. They have the Avalanche. Pimpercheck, is there enough damage? Over on control. No tail still has his ultimate. And he pops to Anna. They're going to lose Pimpercheck. There's no buyback for another 80 seconds. And it looks like this might just be it. Anna, he's continuing to heal up. And they do call GG Singularity. OG, another 20-odd minute game here.
Yeah, and once again, they weren't even leading by that much for most of the games. They just see an opening, they hit a timing, and at that point there is not a lot you can do. You really need to be one step ahead of OG.